Hey guys, this is Amal from Leathercraft 209. Just wanted to post a quick video concept design for a project I'm working on. It's for a Batman style belt, and the customer request is to have a regular belt size, but have the kind of look of something that would be considered a utility belt, a Batman style belt. So I kind of was to post the video kind of showing three ideas, and there's other ways to do it also, but these are three that I think will give the cleanest look. So the first one I did was, this is a single piece, this is actually scrap leather, so don't mind the roughness of it, but the first idea was to do a belt just on a single piece of leather, tool the design in, and have it separated by kind of the dye or the acrylic paint. So this is a gold acrylic paint, so if you can imagine it like around the waist or whatever. And I just tooled some, let me see if I can get close to this. I just tooled some random shapes onto it. Oh, I guess that's a pouch. To kind of represent what the Batman belt would look like, with little compartments or whatever. So that's one idea. The issue with this, I did this really quick, but one of the issues is, trying to get the acrylic paint on without getting onto the black is a little bit harder, and it's not as clean sometimes. So I don't know if you can see that or not. And so that is one of the challenging parts. Now I did this pretty quick. It was like a 5-minute tooling and ran the acrylic gold over the top of the black, and then you put a clear coat on it to kind of seal it. So this is just a single belt you put on. The other option was to get leather that is already metallic. It comes from the tannery already, like a metallic finished gold. And so I don't actually have any leather like that, but to kind of show you an example, this is another project I'm working on, which I think would correlate. So this is, imagine, this is turquoise, but imagine it was a gold color, and let me get close right here. And what I did with this is, it's smooth leather, and then I carved into it with this special tool that you can kind of carve into leather, carve the lines in. And once you carve the line in, it kind of shows the natural or the white underlay. And then what I did was I put like a black dye to fill in the lines, a black antique gel to fill in the lines. And so you kind of see it's still pretty smooth, but it does create somewhat of a three-dimensional effect. And I tried to kind of match the shape. So for example, if that was the pouch or whatever. So that's the other way to do it, is to get some gold leather that's thinner and use it as an overlay. Now you would still have the stitching right here, and you have to kind of imagine this kind of a gold overlay with some black stitching or white stitching. I can try to find some, I guess, gold thread. I don't know if they make it in the thickness that I use, but that would be potential. But anyway, so just kind of imagine it. So this is just kind of carved into a gold overlay. There's no real tooling done per se. It's just kind of etched into the leather, and then the black kind of fills in and brings the lines out. The other idea I had really quick was, once I was looking at this, and it was a little bit messier than I wanted it to be. Of course, if I was taking time and doing it, I would probably take longer and use a different quality brush. And this was just a quick sample, just for the video I wanted to get out there. So this is the easiest way to do it. It's probably also the cheapest way to do it, because it's one piece of leather being used, being tooled on. But the other option was to use actually a thinner leather, about 1 inch, and you would tool onto that, and then you would dye that piece. Oops, sorry. And then the base belt would be black, like black all the way, solid black. And then you would basically glue, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but you would glue the gold strap onto the thing, not onto the leather. Now it does create a thicker belt, so I don't know if you can see that or not. And let me show you the difference between, where am I here? Okay. So, it does create some thickness, versus just a single strap. And then, the other challenge you would have is, you could glue this down, and the glue I use is pretty durable. I've done some bracelets where instead of doing this edge stitching right here, I've just glued it down, and I haven't had anyone complain or return it or say that the glue is coming up. I mean, it's a leather glue that's kind of made to hold. So I don't think you'd run into an issue with it just being glued, but I would want to secure this down onto the leather somehow, at least to some degree, other than the glue. And so one idea was to use rivets. So let me see if I can get. So this is like a brass rivet. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's like a gold color. So the other thought was, once this is glued down, and to get it from shifting or whatever, or wanting to come up, is in certain areas to put this rivet, kind of to represent the belt, kind of tied into the design, where the circles are. I don't know if you can see that or not. But see, like I have circles at different points or whatever. And so instead of just having a tooled circle, I would, put these rivets kind of strategically in the design, and it would hold. It would act as another reinforcement to hold this layer down to the base layer, which would be black. So, anyway, I hope that makes sense. So those are the three options. One is to tool a piece, and then have that be an overlay. And I mean, you could run stitching here. I think it might look a little strange, but we could also do that. You could stitch just from the stitching, the full length, kind of like this piece is. And then, I would just have to account for that when I'm tooling, say, the pouch design or whatever. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. So I would just have to kind of account for that when I was tooling the pattern in, And then, like I said, the rivet would act as one of the holes, one of the parts of the utility belt, kind of is the idea. So that's one option. The other option is to use a single piece of leather, tool into it, carve into it, and carve the pattern in, and then carefully put a gold acrylic in the center piece of it, where it represents the compartments, the metallic parts. And then the other one is to get a piece of gold hide. There's already metallic gold, and carve lines into it, and then use a darker stain or a gel to kind of accentuate the line to make it look like it's the utility belt. And then of course it would still have to be stitched. These two ideas are very similar, using this and this, but the idea of this is, of course, that this is tooling leather. That tooling leather is natural, and if you can see that, it's a natural color. And so you tool onto it when it's natural, and then you put that acrylic paint over the top. So yeah. And like I said, this is really rough. These samples I worked up in like 5 minutes a piece. So the real piece, it'll be a lot more cleaner tooling. But this is the example of how to do the potential to do like a Batman style, superhero style belt. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. So these are three options, ways to do it. Once again, if we did it this way, I probably wouldn't want to stitch it down because it would kind of mess up the design. My thought would be to kind of put rivets spaced, in certain parts of the belt. to kind of act as anchor points to hold it down. Like I said, the glue is pretty tough. I've done bracelets like this where I have not done stitching on the edge and it has not come up. But for safety, we could put little rivets in certain parts. Alright, if you have any questions, let me know. Go check out my website, www.leathercraft209.com. If you're interested in placing an order or custom ordering something, my website has my contact information on it. So yeah, alright, take care guys, bye.